woke up in the hills this morning, asking myself, how did I get here this morning? Monte parking in a teal and orange. Sit up in my room and ponder, finish school and get a doctor. Gotta get it now, man, who knew we'd have it figured out? Crack cocaine, that's what we put up. Niggas saying, don't forget when you was broke, I was looking at sunset. Levels to the shit, levels that I skill. Feeling like that's the medal I should get. All these haters getting heavy on my dick.
What is happening, y'all? It's your boy Ox. I'm back to do another album review for Bryson Tiller's awaited album, True to Self. I'm a big fan of Bryson Tiller, and I will say it took me a while to really get onto him because I felt like I remember when I first heard him, I believe it was the song Don't. I didn't really like it like that, and due to the fact that it was like, you know, when it came to the auto-tune singing and everything, it's like, no, mad niggas was doing that, like Tory Lanez and all the other shit. Even though I like Tory Lanez, but then I don't, because I feel like he be biting off of Drake. But anyway, that's another story. Anyways, it really took me a while to really listen to Bryson and everything, but also at the same time really listen to the music itself. Like Bryson, he is definitely he's very honest in his shit. He's very honest. He really gets in his feelings, and at the same time also showcasing his ability when it comes to spitting. Definitely, he's like a rapper. He's like a rapper slash singer, and yeah, I really didn't start listening to Bryson until I heard the 502 come up, you know, because I still remember when I was like up late at night and I was on YouTube, and like Bryson pretty much had every song out on YouTube, and I decided, you know, let me hear the album on YouTube, and I ended up falling asleep on this shit, sadly. You know, I was like trying to give him a chance, not to mention my older brother who's like 30 something. He was telling me that the album was fire, you know, even after I said like, I don't know about Bryson. And so, you know, I went to do that, and then when I fell asleep, I woke up at maybe late at night, I don't know, it was something o'clock in the morning. I heard 502 come up. And I'm like, what? Like Bryson, Bryson can spit, my nigga. He can spit. I was just like, yo, damn, okay then. Not to mention, just like with the album itself, like Bryson, he definitely brought a new sound, especially when it comes to trap music, you know, knowing that it's like trap soul, you know, Bryson, he's bringing you know, some soulful, he's bringing a soulful subject into the sound, which I thought was pretty dope. And the way that he did it, the way that he executed it on Trap Soul, I felt like it was one of the best albums of the year. And I thought that it was definitely a great debut album from Bryson. Gave that shit a 9 out of 10. And so going onto this album, or going into this album, I'll say that yeah, well, for starters, this is post Trap Soul. This is after the success of Trap Soul, but also after Trap Soul, you know, going into you know, getting more personal with his relationships with other people, you know, especially I guess his baby mother as well. By the way, Bryson has the most adorable little man. Let me have a daughter who's as adorable as Bryson's little girl. All right, that man, she's the most cutest thing ever, man. And that made me start to wonder: is Bryson's daughter or baby mother Latin or Hispanic or some shit? Because going into this album, you know, you start to hear the conversation with the girl. And it's it sounds like she has an accent, you know, as if you know, she's foreign or some shit. So alright, so I'm gonna do something a little different, because it's funny. I remember a couple days ago when I heard this album for the first time ever. It was late at night and shit. I was talking to my friend Morgan, and she, you know, she wanted I guess she was giving me my thoughts, giving me her thoughts about the album, you know, saying how much she loved it, how much she loves it and everything. And I was in the middle of the album, and I told her you know, I'm gonna give you my full-on analysis by the time I finish, and which I did. And I feel you know what, I think the best way to really do this review is to read exactly what I said, dead ass, because I think that I pretty much hit it right on. I nailed it right there. So I'm about to read what I said. All right, going into the whole conversation. This is basically my sum up of the album, but I'm gonna probably add on a few things after I said this, you know. So, you know, yeah. So I just finished, and the album is great, but it is not as well executed as Trap Soul was. LOL. I think that there's certain tracks that Bryson could have used as bonuses. Not to mention when it came to him rapping on the majority of the album, he mostly maintained that laid back flow that a lot of rappers are, you know, using, which I was sad about because on Trap Soul, he was flowing and had more of an attitude behind his rapping. At the same time, those same tracks are still dope. Yeah, again, he did bring back the rapping that I love on the track Before You Judge, which I wish he would have done more on the album. And lastly, the production is great, but it's not as live as the production on, you know, Trap Soul. Some tracks had different feels, but like felt like the same rhythm. But other than that, Bryson did a great job on this and even got more personal, which I love. Honestly, it almost reminds me of an old singing Drake back in the day. He just needs to get a little more open to the music he performs on. Like keep his foundation, but just expand a little more beyond that rhythm he got comfortable with using. And so yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like I really feel like Bryson, I feel like he really took a step backwards a bit when it came to his performance on this album, including with production. Because, you know, the production on Trap Soul was fucking like it was dope as fuck, you know? It was definitely dope as fuck. And like for example, like I think y'all know what I'm talking about when I say the openers on certain tracks on True to Self. You know, it felt like some throwback R&B type of shit, and just like the music sounds so beautiful, and you was like starting to expect, like you was starting to hope, like please let Bryson sing on this type of sound, and which he didn't, and he started going back to that same type of beat or trap beat or like rhythm that he kept doing plenty of times on the album, and which I was like, damn it, man, like, and it's like I don't see why Bryson wouldn't do that. Like he definitely showed that potential on Trap Soul, so I didn't understand why he couldn't really like show that, like really embrace it on True to Self. And so yeah, like this album really could have been like, yes my nigga, yes, do this, you know, if Bryson really would have just expanded more, you know? No, like that ass, you know. And I'm gonna tell y'all my favorite tracks, like, cause you know I bumped this album like 3 or 4 times so far, you know, cause I'll be listening to other music. Definitely like the Rain on Me intro. No Longer Friends, yes, definitely. Don't Get Too High. Oh, I fuck with that song. Definitely, yeah, fuck with, we both know. You Got It, In Check, Self Made, and that shit, like, you know, when I said, like, what is it, you know, knowing that was post-Trap Soul, like, Bryson was, he was definitely going to talk about the success he has, you know, like, talking about, like, the life he's now living, you know, the type of life he's living when it came to, like, the glamour and fame and all the other shit. Self Made, man, that shit, oh, man, I fucking love Self Made. I think that's the only, I really feel like that's the only track he should have kept, like, when it came to, like, talking that shit, you know, talking braggadocious. I felt like he should have kept this shit on this album, but, like, as for the other tracks, you know, because I'm gonna go back to, like, talking about my favorite tracks, but I feel like you could have took Blowing Smoke, High Stakes, and Money Problems slash, oh my god, Money Problems slash Ben's Truck. Could have took those three tracks, put them as bonuses, and made this, what is it, how many tracks is this, 19, so 18, so, yeah, make this a 16-track album. I really felt like he could have done that. So yeah, back to tracks that I like, but also, like, you know, favorite tracks, like tracks that I love and all that. Just, you know, let me listen. Definitely like the Rain on Me intro. Has like a nice, beautiful sound going into it. No Longer Friends, Don't Get Too High, We Both Know, You Got It, In Check, Self Made. Oh man, I fucking love that song. Run Me Dry, man, yo. You can't tell me girls are finna be dropping their panties to this song, Run Me Dry. Like, just dancing, like this, yo, this is something that's definitely outside of, you know, what you usually hear from Bryson. But that's, bruh.
Cause I got the check on me. Won't spend it, then flex on me. Put a curse of hex on me. Scratch out my name, put the X on me. You should come check on me. Tell ass for me. Fuck, might as well get a dress for.
And you know, coming from that song, I will say that, like, Bryson, he does a really great job at expressing himself through simplistic sounds, you know. If anything, you know, I have to give him credit for that, even though you know, this is kind of like going backwards due to what he has done on the last album, you know? But you still gotta give him credit. Like, honestly, say if this was his first album, and then he did Trap Soul, so much praise would go to him. Like, just coming from a, what is it? A sonic standpoint, like, from a production standpoint. If you was to do this type of album first and then go into the second one, you know, like you know, as Trap Soul and shit, then man, it would've been fucking lit for Bryson, you know. You know, because this is the type of sound that you would, if anything, that you would hear, like, you know, in artists like Bryson kind of start off with, to kind of like start getting comfortable with these types of sounds, you know, before like really trying to break out and do more. You know, I think that if it would have made sense to like do this type of album first and then go into like an album like Trap Soul, you know.
And like a fan of the show.
Then of course, Rain interlude, Teach Me a Lesson. Fucking love that track. What is it? What else?
It's been too long. I got.
You know, Stay Blessed. Set It Off. Definitely one of my favorite. Maybe top 3 favorites. Maybe top 3rd favorite song off this album. Like Set It Off. It just, bruh. Hold up. Oh, Jesus. Oh, open it. Lord Jesus. Hold up.
Need the question now, bitch. She'll put a gun for me. Pop 2, she'll take 1 for me. Set it off if a bitch come for me. Set it off if a nigga come for me. Pop 2, she'll take 1 for me. Set it off if a bitch come for me. Set it off if a nigga come.
Like, that song was too smooth. I fucking love that song. Like, especially the hook. Like, that song, it was dope. And then like, this was this had to be based off of his baby mama. And I love that. One of my favorite tracks on the album. Nevermind, this interlude was kind of cool, you know. Before You Judge, that is the fucking one right there. Before You Judge is the Bryson I love. Just like just incorporating his flow and rapping and also singing, like his vocals and all that, like how we did on Trap Soul. This was the one right here. And like Bryson, he was just talking that shit, like that real shit, you know. Like he covered so much problems on just that one song, you know. And just like, I really wish that he would have done more of that on this album. You know, just like, I couldn't believe that he did less of that on this album. Not to mention, it's 19 fucking tracks. Like, bruh. You know? Yeah, man, like, that song was so fucking just like, oh, man. And just the beat as well, like, hold up, man. Do you hear that bass? Ooh. Do you hear that? Oh man. Oh. Woo. Oh Jesus. That beat.
I still don't give a fuck about how they feel.
And it's like, it's so simple, but like, it's just little things. I believe that. It's like, this shit is fucking. I love that. That's the best song of that album. That's one of my favorite Bryson songs ever so far. Okay, and then going on to the song Something Tells Me. Love that fucking song. That song, dope as fuck. I love that song. Smooth as fuck. And then Always, the outro. Beautiful, beautiful outro. I think that I wish a little more could have been done on that. Just like the closer on that track was just like so beautiful, you know, just like I really feel like Bryson has the potential to just like make a really beautiful album, you know, just like with the same foundation that he placed off of Trap Soul, and just like, you know, just really just expand his sound more, you know, like coming from an R&B standpoint, because he got it, I know he got it, you know. So with that being said, this definitely does not have the caliber to match Trap Soul. Like, it's up there, but it's like, it's not Trap Soul, you know. This album is like just a few, like Trap Soul, yeah, this is like Trap Soul -5, if that makes sense, you know. This album is dope though. Like, I really do enjoy this album. A great majority of this album I really enjoyed, you know. And it's not like it's not like, you know, like the songs that I feel as bonus tracks, like they're not bad, you know. They're really not bad, you know. I just really feel like they weren't necessary to really put on the album. Not to mention, you know, like Bryson, he done released like the singles he had released, they weren't on the album, you know. That like they weren't on the album. And I felt like, you know what, maybe you should do the same thing. Like, I feel like he could have just, you know, released those 3 bonus tracks that I mentioned and put them shits as singles. Either put those as singles as well, that's going to be outside the album, or just put them as bonus tracks. That's it, you know. I really feel like he could have done that. But this album is dope. I really am proud of Bryson. I'm looking forward to the next album. I'm really hoping that he expands upon his sound. I appreciate his honesty on this album. I appreciate I appreciate the fact that, you know, he's around, and I think that I feel like he's bringing back what Drake left behind when it came to, you know, what made Drake like so fucking like great, in which it was his honesty. It was talking about, you know, people nowadays when it comes to relationships and just love, and just, you know, just what this generation is like right now. I think that, you know, Bryson is really like, you know, bringing it back. You know, that's why I said, like, you know, he sounds like kind of like an old Drake, you know, back in the day, and which I love that. That's the Drake I love. I don't like Drake really like that now. Not to mention, I listen to Take Care that night, you know, and just, you know, miss me. Like, I really think that Bryson could make an album like Take Care, just from a sonic standpoint. You know, Bryson, he could talk his shit, he could tell his own truth, be true to himself like he was on this album, but just like, he has the potential to do an album like Take Care. You know, because not to mention, Take Care is to me, I think it's a classic. I think that really defined a generation of what we are now when it comes to love and relationships and all the other shit. Like, that album was just fucking great. Like, I love that album. I think Bryson has the potential, and, you know, he's, what is it, second album in, great album, and he definitely got more fans now, I bet. Like, you can only gain so much more fans through every album you put out, especially if it's good. Like, you're gonna have a whole bunch of people like looking out for you, you know. Yeah, man. Bryson, man, dope, good job, you know. Just still, like, you know, don't go backwards like all these other people, you know. Do not go backwards, man, especially if you did a great job the first time, man. Dude, man, come on, man. You can be dude, you got the potential, bro. You got it, man. I really wish that he would have done like more with this album, you know. Still did a good job though. So yeah, man. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say though. I really did enjoy this album. I will be bumping this again. I'm thinking about doing a review for Lil Yachty's new album, Teenage Emotions, but man, I'm not even trying to hate on the, like, I pretty much said all that I had to say on social media, to be honest. And like I said, like, follow me on my social media and you can see it yourself. You know, I honestly don't want to like just go on YouTube just like ranting or just like talking shit about Lil Yachty, because what he does is what he does. I respect him as a person, as a rapper, but as a person, yeah. And, you know, I see what his purpose is, what he just wants to do, you know. But, you know, I will say that, you know, that album, it was really a letdown. It was like, you know, it, like, just coming from the cover off of that album, it has nothing to do it really has nothing to do with what's on the cover of the album. And that was what really had me interested in listening to the album. I respected that cover when it just when it came to all people, whether it's like thugs, gay people, like just pretty much everyone being equal, you know, and just chilling, you know, and just Bryson, he just 20 or 21 tracks of just like mostly the same type of shit that he's talking about and just bad bars. And I need to stop, okay? I need to stop. This isn't about Lil Yachty. This is about Bryson. Bryson, great job, man. I really look forward to your next album. Guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. You can follow me on my social medias. On Facebook, down here. Instagram, down here. Thank you all for watching. This is OxThe3rd. And I will see y'all next time for the next video. So, peace.